Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Boomer Live once again. We are back with yet another live. Yesterday, we weren't able to make it, so we are back. So, we will also try to talk about yesterday's game, which took place because it was interesting. But before that, what a game did we have today? Gujarat Titans getting yet another win and putting them in a very good stead. A win by 56 odd runs. That is massive. 55 rather odd runs. It's a massive win. It's going to bolster their run rate and also defeating Mumbai Indians by Hardik Pandya. Hardik Pandya definitely had a point to prove there. So all in all, you can say it was a massive win for Gujarat Titans to put them back in the race of top four once again. Because after the two losses, you felt somewhere the wheels were coming out, but not definitely. They're back and they're back in the hunt in a way which is going to make other teams take a note of as well. Now, once again, you have to say the Gujarat Titans middle order consisting of David Miller, Abhinav Manohar, and Rahul Tewati, of course, came good, and they did come good in a way that put Mumbai Indians completely out of the game, and Mumbai Indians just couldn't chase it down. Welcome, Sandeepani, on the show. I hope you're doing very good. What did you make of this game? Because you can say this was a very different game by Mumbai Indians. They were absolutely taken aback by their middle order exploits. That momentum which Gujarat had, they just carried out it with the ball as well in the first 15 overs, which meant Mumbai are totally out of the game.
Yeah, I think it was a uncharacteristic game from Mumbai Indians because we don't see them get manhandled and dominated in such a manner. But I think it's been the case. I mean, it was on the cards. You saw the squad; they were on a bounce back. They were bouncing back, and with three consecutive wins, you felt like Mumbai Indians' campaign was back on track. But there were lots of loopholes and lots of there was no depth in that lineup, and then it got exposed when you have to chase 200 runs daily frequently. They lost the last game to Punjab as well, trying to chase well in excess of 200. It's the same as in the case of KKR as well. They don't have the proper bowlers to finish it off, proper pieces. With Jofra Archer's injury, you might say, okay, opening bowlers Jason Behrendorff and Arjun Tendulkar are doing a great job. But apart from that, I think Piyush Chawla is the only bowler who looks to be on form. Other than that, they have tried Ritik Shawki on instances. They had a stint with Arshad Khan. Today they tried Kumar Kartikeya, but I think Kumar Kartikeya was long overdue, and I think he would do better in a lot of other pitches, not so much in the Narendra Modi Stadium. So I think yeah, it was a tactical call that did not come off for them. And also when you talk about the death overs bowling, you have all the pressure on Cameron Green, and we saw how he traveled today as well. He traveled yesterday as well. Jason Behrendorff bowling that final over looked completely out of place. I've been mentioning this once again and again that Jason Behrendorff, if you are playing that guy, give him 4 overs up front, because if you bowl Jason Behrendorff 4 overs up front, he'll go at an economy of 5 to 7. But if you give him that 1 over of death bowling, the economy will be squandered. He goes, his death bowling economy is poor. He goes at an economy close to 10 to, I mean, it's in excess of 10 for sure.
Yeah.
And today he considered, I mean, Rahul Tewatia came in and scored those 3 sixes. Once again, you might argue that Rahul Tewatia is Gujarat Titans batting first. Where is Rahul Tewatia's position to bat? Not at number 7 for sure. I mean, when he can
Yeah.
come and give you those 15-20 runs, he's definitely a better player than to play 5 balls in the game. I mean,
Right.
that his contribution should definitely be more than that. And that is what has been bothering me from Gujarat Titans point of view. Rashid Khan has got a partner in the form of Noor Ahmed, which is
Nur
good.
Ahmed. Yeah. I
And
think we'll
Rashid
talk
Khan
about it
will
as
be
we
promoting him
go
as
ahead
well.
in the live. But I'll take that question from Kapil Verma to start off with, because I had a very similar thought, because what I felt of Ishan Kishan, we've been talking that very vocally on this channel time and time again as to how big a disappointment he's been, not just for Mumbai Indians, overall in his cricketing graph or progress, from what his potential could have been at this point of stage to what he is doing right now. It's just been a downgrade. It's just been a downslide in terms of his ceiling limit where he's unable to achieve. Now, let's talk about Ishan Kishan, the batter, right? Now, he's been bought for 15.5 crores not to play at a strike rate of 90 or 80. He's been bought at that price so that he can go out there and set the tone for Mumbai Indians. He was looked at as a replacement for Quinton de Kock. You can say like replacement for Quinton de Kock. And what you're seeing is Ishan Kishan nowhere being there. He's batting worse than a tail ender, in my opinion, at this point of stage. His bat is somewhere, his head positioning is somewhere, the ball is moving, he has no idea what he's doing. And the once the ball moves, he's making a mockery out of himself. I mean, I've not seen an opening batter struggle so much with a new ball like he has done. And that ball which he got out as well, it's a clear indication as to how he's struggling at this point, because that short ball, any other player in form would have dispatched it for six, but he just got that bottom edge and just it flew up right in the air. That's what I personally feel at this point. The Mumbai Indians should drop Ishan Kishan for good. I know he had a very good innings against KKR, but I think that is just an aberration for him. In the last 15 to 20 T20 innings, he's been below par as a player, and his technical flaws are even more imminent as the IPL is progressing. The teams are targeting him with swing ballers up front or pace ballers, and his inability to play against good quality spin as well. It's now a grave sign for Mumbai Indians.
Yeah, I think, and then Rohit Sharma getting out early in a chase in excess of 200 did not help the matters either. And I mean, we saw Ishan Kishan whenever he has tried to show intent, that is when he has been successful in that power play. But once he gets into that sort of a shell, it is very difficult for him to get out of it. We have seen Ishan Kishan play a 30 ball 30 run knock for even for India, even opening for India as well.
Yeah, yeah,
And the reason is the only reason he gets into that shell is probably because there is a couple of wickets that have fallen from the other end, and there is some sort of pressure, and then he's trying to build a partnership, and he's not being able to play freely or something. I mean, at this moment it just looks like he's not in the right space of mind, because
yeah,
chasing 214, if you play a knock of 13 of 21 balls, absolutely taking the strike in the power play, hogging the strike in the power play, not giving the team to get any sort of momentum. I would blame the chase on Ishan Kishan itself, because I mean, if you could have had somebody to support Cameron Green, because Green was in great form with the bat, coming in at number three. He had scored two back-to-back 50s, and we have seen the case with Green that he takes some initial time to get going, and that was the ideal time for Ishan Kishan to just go after the bowling in the power play. You have to target bowlers like Mohammad Shami and Hardik Pandya, especially if you have to chase down 200 runs, because Hardik Pandya is the fifth bowling option, even though he's a pretty good new ball bowler. And
yeah,
exactly, once again, my case of not getting in a Joshua Little. Why exactly Joshua Little does not fit into this team? Because you have Hardik Pandya, you have Mohammad Shami, you don't need a
hmm.
Joshua Little. So
Yeah,
I
I
think
agree.
Gujarat Titans right now have found their perfect balance of 11, because we can see that with Noor Ahmed coming in and settling in, it's good. But talking about Ishan Kishan, I think before this game he had a strike rate of 140 in this season of the IPL, and majority of that credit, or of that strike rate, would be because of the game against KKR, where he scored 57 of 21-24 balls. So that allowed, because if you just take that game out, other than that, I think his strike rate has been in the range of 120s. And even after today's performance, his strike rate this season has dropped down to 129. So a
Yeah,
strike rate of 129 and an average of 26 is not why you're getting 15.5 crores. I totally
hmm.
agree with you on this, but I don't know what he can do to sort of get away from it, because with Rohit Sharma struggling for form in the other end, I mean, he got two good innings, and today he failed as well. But
Yeah,
Rohit Sharma has not been consistent at the top either. So I think
yeah.
this combination is not working for them. So they might as well try a new combination. Probably drop Ishan Kishan at number four, number five, because
I mean,
I
do you
don't
think
see
that's
Rohit.
going to do him any good? A batter who can't play well in power play, do you reckon it's going to even help him to go in number four, number five, and
I
just
mean,
get
that
points
that
from the
will
over
that
too?
will do Mumbai Indians a lot of good, because that will give Cameron Green a further free license to come ahead as an opener and try to sort of maximize the power play as well. And then you will have Tilak Verma and Surya Kumar Yadav at number three and number four, taking in playing majority of the innings. And then you can slot in a Ishan Kishan at number five, where he has the license to just come in and go after the bowling, because you have a Tim David, you have a Nehal Vadera who looked brilliant today, and
Mm.
who had looked good previously as well. I mean, you can't expect him to come and score 13 of 4 against
Yeah.
Arshdeep Singh. Apart from that, I think it's good enough. He's a good enough batter to bat in that middle order, and today's innings will give him a lot of confidence as well. So I
Yeah, I
think
mean,
with that middle
I
order, I
mean,
think
I
Ishan
have, I
Kishan
have
can
no
drop.
issue with Nehal Vadara also being promoted up the order, because I think he's too good a player to be coming at number seven for this team, because you've seen the potential. Maybe give a little bit of a batting up. You can bat him up the order. Maybe just give him a little bit of promotion. You never know. He might come good at number six, maybe number five, maybe. But I think they have to change some big things in Mumbai Indians team at this point, especially maybe it has to start with removing Ishan Kishan, maybe to start off with, and see where he fits in. And if you really feel Ishan Kishan can bat at number four, then put him at number four. Because remember, His best season for Mumbai Indians came at number 4 as well, Sandeepani, isn't it? In
Yeah.
2020, when he came at number 4, he had a role clarity as to could come in and slog from ball one, and that really helps. And as I keep telling about Raquel Rahul as well, some of these players are better suited to come in in the middle order because they don't have to think a lot. They can just come in and play their own innings, and that'll really, really help them to push forward.
Exactly, and I think also talking about Ishan Kishan, his best IPL performance came in at number 4 when he had the likes of Kyron Pollard or Hardik Pandya, Kunal Pandya coming in after him and then giving him that support that he needs to sort of get a move on. If you need, we even had that game where Mumbai Indians almost chased down 90 of the last 5 overs, thanks to Ishan Kishan's brilliant 99, if I remember correctly. So I think Ishan Kishan was striking the ball well, and coming in the middle order will give him that license. I mean, if you just ask him to come in at number 5 and just ask him to just take the attack on the spinners, especially some of the leg spinners. Today he struggled against the Pacers, but I think he has a pretty decent record against the spinners. Even if you talk about Gujarat Titans, he had a pretty good matchup against Rashid Khan as well, and he's generally very good against the leg spinners. He just likes to take down the leg spinners with the angle. And unless you are a Ravi Bishnoi sort of a bowler who predominantly depend on their googlies, then he can just with the angle he can just hit you out of the park. And I think right now Mumbai Indians need that sort of a player at number 5, number 6, because with Tim David struggling, Surya Kumar Yadav not in the best of forms, and Tilak Verma no clarity. I mean, no clarity of role for Tilak Verma, because Tilak Verma came out in that press conference after the 37 of 17 balls saying that he would like to come in towards the later end and finish the job for Mumbai Indians. He can even settle down into the role of a finisher. But this Mumbai
Yeah.
Indians team needs Tilak Verma to come in that number 3 or number 4 position and carry forward the innings and go at a strider of 130, 140, but go on to score those 30 to 40 runs. Because at the end of the day, you are seeing that you have to rely on players like Nihal Vadera coming in at number 7
Yeah.
to score some runs, and even a Piyush Chawla came in and scored 18 runs to save some blushes. So I
Yeah.
think it was a horrific performance from Mumbai Indians, especially once the openers fail, and once they
Yeah.
fail after destroying the power play. I mean, just playing out the power play. That is when it becomes a huge concern for Mumbai Indians to have a move on. And I think right now, I think Ishan Kishan will fit in that number 5 role. Not if not perfectly, I think the situation demands him to play at number 5 right now because he is
I
failing
agree.
as an opener. Huh.
I agree because there are two reasons why I totally believe as well why Ishan Kishan should be batting at number 4 or number 5, because maybe that little bit of shift in position can help him, and it's not helping Mumbai Indians. Cameron Green is better suited in an opening position, gives him a little bit more time to settle in and maybe get going and maybe use the power play to better effect as well. At this point in stage, Mumbai Indians are seriously wasting the power play. Ishan Kishan, those kind of innings are extremely negative. Now, if you look, Mumbai Indians was behind the 8 ball game from the very word go. When Ishan Kishan plays at 21 ball 13, that in itself is causing negative impact in a 3 or 4 5-fold manner rather. Now you could have scored a 21 ball 50. Instead of that, you scored 21 ball 13. Now that is 39 runs minus to the total in a normal circumstance. So let's put 30 runs minus the total or 20 runs. Now that in itself reduces the margin of victory. 35 runs, then you could have scored 35 runs at any other time. Now that is what I'm trying to say. You need to play this positive impact knocks in order to get that team to move on and make the maximum utilization of power play. Now, Mumbai Indians, I know their bowling has been an issue as well. Let's talk about their bowling, isn't it? Because Piyush Chawla has done a very good job for them. In whatever matches he's played, he's looked like the only potent threat for them. On the other end, especially when you talk about Indian pacers, nobody has really stepped up. There's been no good Indian pacer. I mean, Arjun has been there and thereabouts, but not still convincing enough to go out there and rip oppositions apart. Riley Meredith, Jofra Archer, it's just been a merry-go-ride. There is no consistency as to who's going to play which match. So that is a major factor. And today, once again, going to Kartikeya ahead of someone like Ritik Shawkin, little surprising, one can say so.
Yeah, but I think I mean, Kartikeya is by far the better bowler in T20s when you compare him with Ritik Shawkin. I think they went in with Ritik Shawkin in some of the earlier games because of what he adds with the bat. But we have seen that Mumbai Indians bat deep. I mean, when I say deep, I mean you have a lot of bowlers who can sort of come in and toying the ball. Like a Piyush Chawla or Arjun Tendulkar. So I don't really feel that Ritik Shawkin needs like you have to play Ritik Shawkin as a batter, And when you talk about bowling, I think Kartikeya is by far the better option when it comes to comparing him with Ritik Shawkin, because Ritik Shawkin, if you just put him under pressure, 1 6 here and there, and Ritik Shawkin just crumbles. Because you have seen Butler in the past hit him for 4 5 6s in a row. You have seen other players as well. I think he has gone
Yeah,
considered in excess of 20 runs at least 3 times in the last two
right.
years. So that is not a good sign for any spinner, especially if you are one of the main spinners in that team, because Piyush Chawla did not play last season. So he was one
Right.
of the main spinners in that team last year. So I
Mhm.
think they have realized, and I think Kartikeya going forward, if you give Kartikeya more opportunities, he is a bright talent, and I think he deserves a place in that team playing 11. But
Yeah, I
I
agree.
totally agree with you. Arjun Tendulkar has shown promise, but he's not their. I mean, he's their only Indian pace option right now. And
Yeah,
also, I mean, not I'm Indian pacer who is playing, because you also have the likes of Ramandeep Singh and Arshad Khan, who haven't really proved themselves. Ramandeep Singh was starting to get on his own towards the later end of the last season, but this time around they did not go with him, and they have preferred Arjun Tendulkar ahead of him. But you understand that there is no confidence in Arjun Tendulkar, because the only over that he has bowled from, apart from bowling in the power plays, has been that one over where the opposition needed 20 runs, or the tailenders, SRH tailenders needed 20
yeah,
odd runs to win. And the other time that he has bowled that one over, he has considered the most runs by a Mumbai Indians bowler in one over, 31 runs in the
yeah,
game against Punjab Kings. So they don't now. Rohit Sharma does not have the confidence to give him the ball in that 17th, 18th over. So he has to go
mm,
in with a Cameron Green. No, I mean Cameron Green is not a better option. We have seen he went for
yeah,
25 runs in the game against Punjab Kings today. Also, he was hit for 3 6s in that
right.
over, that 18th over. So you don't really have an option, and Riley Meredith is your only death bowling option. So I think going forward, instead of going in with this merry-go-round effect, I think they can persist, because once Jofra Archer is 100% fit, I think they can persist with Jofra Archer and Riley Meredith for the time being. Because until and unless Bumrah is back, this bowling department and this death bowling looks a major concern. Because
Yeah, I
this team
agree.
will go on to concede 80, 90 runs every 5 overs in the death overs, if they continue to
I mean, it's
persist
been
with.
happening consistently now, and that's not a good sign at all, because two back-to-back games where you're considering excess of close to 70 to 60 runs in the last 5 overs, and that is not going to
Because
benefit you.
Abel, they don't
You
have
control
a
the middle.
dead bowling option, right? Riley Meredith, even if he is considering 20 runs in the 2 overs that he bowls, you have Berendorf, Cameron Green, and Arjun Tendulkar conceding almost 20 runs per over in the last 3 overs, and they are going on
Yeah.
to concede 80, 85 runs in the last 5 overs. So that is not a solution. I think they'll have to tinker around with that playing 11 and playing combination.
Yeah, I agree, because that is one way to look into things. But let's talk about the other team, right, who has won today, and I think it's about time we give them credit as well. I mean, what a phenomenal time for Gujarat Titans to really come into the picture and to get those two important wins. One, they snatched victory out of the jaws of defeat against Lucknow Super Giants, and now against Mumbai Indians, a thumping performance. You have to say they well struggling a little bit through the middle overs where they couldn't really accelerate, but then Abhinav Manohar and David Miller playing that part really helped them. Gave that sucker punch on Mumbai Indians to take the momentum away. And finally, the finishing touches from Rahul Tewatia, where he came out there and smashed it all around the park.
Yeah, I think they scored 57 of the last 3 overs, and I think that the game was done and dusted in that 3 overs itself, because you had a phase where Shubman Gill was going strong. He provided the team with a great start, even though he did not have enough support from the other end. I read a comment somewhere about Hardik Pandya being a good fit for Gujarat Titans at number three, but the way he's playing at number three, I mean, his six hitting power or the six hitting abilities, that seems to be diminishing as the day goes on. He's more and more trying to be that anchor sort of a player who likes to take the game deep, sort of like an MS Dhoni. But you have to realize that you get a MS Dhoni only once in a generation, and MS Dhoni, even though whenever he took the game deep, he used to finish it. Unlike Hardik Pandya, you have seen Hardik Pandya go on to
Yeah.
finish games for India, but more often than not, he has struggled to finish the innings. He has just taken the game deep, and once the required rate is high, he gets out. So I don't know whether coming in at number three is going to help Gujarat, I mean India's cause in the long run for Hardik Pandya coming in at number three. But I'm sure Shai Sudarshan is injured. Otherwise, I think he would have definitely got that number three place, because I think he was doing a great job at number three. and you had a Riddhiman Shah, Shubman
Or maybe
Gill.
promote someone like a Vijay Shankar at 3. I think that's also not a bad idea
Yeah,
at all.
and I think it would have been a good sort of matchup as well if you could have promoted Vijay Shankar at number 3 today, because Vijay Shankar had an average close to 40 against Mumbai Indians. So I mean, it was a good bet to get him in at number 3, especially today, because he you have seen that he can tong the ball, and he has looked to play a different brand of cricket than what we expect of Vijay Shankar. This season, at least he's trying to be more positive, and like a Rahane sort of player. So you can put him at number 3, and you never know, he might like churn up the runs. So Hardik
Yeah.
Pandya can just drop down at number 5 and number 6 and just focus on the finishing role, because I think more than Gujarat Titans, I think India needs him at number 5, number 6, not at number 3 right now. And
I agree.
also, I think Gujarat Titans really lost the track because they lost wickets at regular intervals till the Avinav Manohar and David Miller sort of partnership that steadied the ship. And then you had Rahul Tewatia 20 of 5 balls, and the Miller blasting the second last over, the penultimate over. So it was, I will say, it was not a perfect performance from Gujarat Titans, but on any given day, they would take defeating the five-time IPL champions by 55 runs. They'll take it any day.
I mean, I agree with you because especially when you talk about Gujarat Titans and the way in which they've made this team, it's all come down to getting these bits and pieces cricketers together and utilizing them to better effect, and that has been a brilliant, brilliant thing. And today also you saw Shubman Gill was a major factor in terms of laying that foundation. Now for Shubman Gill and Rudiman Saha, you reckon now going ahead as well, you want one of them to be a better aggressor. I think Shubman Gill as an aggressor is better than Shubman Gill as an anchor.
Definitely, and I think whenever he has looked to take the attack on the opposition, it looks good on just on the eyes. It looks absolutely stunning to see Shubman Gill batting at his best, because you have
Yeah.
Shubman Gill playing all those.
Yeah.
What can we do? The pull shots that he plays, not towards the square, but towards the in the gap
Yeah.
between mid on and mid wicket. I think that is one of the pleasing sights to see in modern cricket right now. But also, I think whenever Shubman Gill has tried to anchor the ship, you have a Riddhiman Shah who is trying to take. Riddhiman Shah anyway looks to take the attack on the bowlers in the power play, and I think that is his role primarily, because you know, like you said, this Gujarat Titans team relies on these bits and pieces cricketer, to all of these cricketers to sort of combine together and put in a combined effort where
Yeah.
one of them picks in one day and you have the game in their hands. So when you rely on these sort of players, the role clarity in this team is outstanding, and I think that
Yeah.
is the only reason why they are on the top of the table right now.
And also, you did mention about role clarity. What do you make of this new way in which they're not really playing Alzari Joseph in this team? Because Alzari Joseph is too good a bowler to be sitting on the bench, number one. And number two, going with two spinners, two overseas spinners. Not a lot of team in IPL history have done that, to go in with two overseas spinners. Here, you have a Chinaman kind of Rashid Khan and Noor Ahmed, and you have Rashid Khan himself. You have to say that 8 over spell in between has become a nightmare for a lot of teams, because now you have to not only read Rashid Khan out of the hands, you have to also play Noor Ahmed. I think Noor Ahmed is the easier of the two to play out because he's still more predictable in terms of his lengths, but Rashid Khan is still the best in the business, isn't it?
Yeah, Rashid Khan for sure is the best in the business, but I think that is where most of the teams go wrong. I mean, it's not that difficult to face a Noor Ahmed, but once you get like after playing one over from Rashid Khan, the batter seems to sort of just take the concentration level just drops a bit. He thinks that he can go after the bowling, and that is where Noor Ahmed will be so, and that is where bowling partnerships are so effective. You see Yuzvendra Chahal pick up a lot of wickets when Ashwin is bowling well, because he's building the pressure and he's picking up the wickets. So similarly with Rashid Khan, a lot of teams look to play Rashid Khan out, and that is when they have the pressure to take on the bowler from the other end. Most often than not, it is going to be Noor Ahmed right now, and you will also have 1 or 2 overs from Mohit Sharma as well. And that is when these bowlers become all the more important, because if they can maintain or keep that pressure, build that pressure from one end, I think this middle overs period for Gujarat Titans is going to be a great thing for them. I mean, they are going to pick up a lot of wickets, and they are going to absolutely crush the opposition in the middle overs itself. Having said that, I think Alzari Joseph too good a player to sit out. I mean,
Yeah.
when you have, I think they went ahead with only three foreigners today.
Overseas players
Yeah,
first up. Then
you just
Joshua
have
Little came in as an impact
yeah,
substitute.
Joshua Little came in as an impact sub. I think they can, going forward, if they are not employing a Dasun Shanaka because they have too many of bits and pieces cricketers or all
Yeah.
rounders in this team.
But
So
do you
going
really need a
forward,
Darshan Shanaka in this team? Because he seems to be a misfit until unless there's something happens to David Miller. You don't really need a Darshan Shanaka in this team. Because there's also a Matthew Wade who's also sitting on the wings. Remember that.
yeah, I think Matthew Wade also sitting in the bench, and also talking about Dasun Shanaka. I felt Dasun Shanaka would be a great addition to this scheme because he'll give that depth in that batting order. Because you have to rely on days, you have to rely on today, you have to rely on Avinav Manohar, Rahul Tewatia to give you that ammunition towards the end, and you have to
And
rely
they're
on.
doing a good job. They're doing
They're
a good
doing a
job.
good job. They're doing a good job. No doubt they're doing a good job. But it's always, I mean, good to have a backup. I mean, these are your all rounders. Hardik, Gujarat Titans have all rounders coming in from number 3. Hardik Pandya
Yeah.
comes in at number 3.
I
So
mean,
you have,
that's the whole success of this team, isn't it? They've
yeah,
got these
and
players, they've got these all rounders coming in from number 3, and they've formed a great core.
exactly why I feel that a Dashun Shanaka being another all-rounder will be a good fit in the team coming in at number 7 with the bat or number 6 with the bat on days when you have collapses. But with
Yeah.
Noor Ahmed coming in and settling in, I mean, I can't really argue with my Dashun Shanaka point over there, because Noor Ahmed coming in and performing at Narendra Modi Stadium will give them a lot of confidence because that is their
Yeah.
home ground. He's performing in their home ground, so it's all good until they are performing. So I think
Yeah.
they could have probably gotten Alzari Joseph as an impact substitute,
Yeah.
to say the least, because Joshua Little, Alzari Joseph, obviously Alzari Joseph is the better of the two.
Maybe the left arm seam angle, that matchup with
Yeah,
Rohit
maybe.
Sharma has, and maybe even Ishan Kishan to an extent has
Rohit
against
Sharma
left
had
arm.
a
Also, Surya
horrible
Kumar
matchup
Yadav
against.
has a bad matchup against left arm seam in
Yeah,
the recent past, at least. So maybe these are the reasons why they went for Joshua Little, is what I personally think. But you have to say this win is very important for Gujarat Titans, because now let's look at the points table for the Liking, because points table is very important as we talk about IPL, and points table indicate where teams stand at the end of 7 games. Most of the teams have played 7 games now, and we'll know where teams are at this point. So let's put the points table on the screen as we speak. So this is the points table for all of you. We can see Chennai Super Kings on top of the table, very comfortable, better net run rate as well, 10 points. And number 2, you have the Gujarat Titans after today's win, and then you have 5 teams, no 4 teams rather, stuck at number 8. And if and this is very interesting because Mumbai Indians would have ideally wanted to win this match and go to number 8, the jam which was created at number 8. If they had won the game by 30 runs or in 18 overs, they would have actually wanted to go into top 4 as well. But then they have really missed out on the chance and taken a big hampering on the net run rate as well. So, Sandeep, where do you think points table stand at this point of stage, and how big it is going to be towards the next half? Because now all teams have played 7. Now it looks like the next 7. Now it's the final 9, as they say in golf. Now this is where things get very interesting, isn't it?
yeah. I think there are. This is the first time, like you mentioned, that the points table is so close, because you have the first team having won 5 of them, and the last team has won 2 of them. So, and then you have all the wins clustered. I mean, there are 2 teams at 5, 4 teams at 4, 1 team at 3, and then 3 teams at 2 wins. So
Yeah,
you have a points table which is distributed symmetrically, so as to say.
yeah.
And I think going forward, I think the majority contention, the top 7 teams will be in contention. I think KKR, SRH, and DC have
You reckon
fallen out of the
DC are
race.
out completely? Because we did not speak about yesterday's match, but yesterday's win is also going to give them that extra bit of thrust, isn't it? All of a sudden, that match they pull it out of the hat. Mukesh Kumar just came into the fore, ball that very last over. Alongside him, Kuldeep, we had Vakshar Patel. A lot of other players also chipping in for them at the right place, defending 144. You have to say DC will start believing now that they can climb up the ladder, even if slightly slow.
Yeah, I think it was a very important win for them. But then again, they were playing the number 9 place side, Sunrisers Hyderabad, who have had a lot of bumps in their campaign as well. And one might argue that 144 could have been chased down over there, but then again we saw Lucknow Super Giants falter, chasing 134,
Yeah.
135. Delhi Capitals themselves struggled to chase a 129. So in the hindsight, I think it was a very important win for Delhi Capitals. But if you think Delhi Capitals are in contention for the playoff race, I think it's still a very far-fetched thought.
Yeah, I
They are
agree.
not out of it. They are not out of it. But I think 8 wins will guarantee you a place in that top 4, and
Yeah.
7 wins you have to have a very good net run rate. So that means 5 wins from the next 7,
Now the
which
funny
looks
part
improbable.
is not a lot of teams have got a very good net run rate this time around. I think that's a positive thing because that means the net run rate, a merely good net run rate can really help you to be pumping in into the playoffs as well if you are tied in points with some other teams. So that's where Mumbai's loss today is going to hurt them a lot more. They could have possibly closed in the gap to maybe a 25 rather than a 50 or 55. So that is going to hurt them a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And I think net run rate be more and more important as the tournament progresses. Now people are just looking at the number of games, number of wins. But as we progress into the tournament, along with the points, you will also take a look at the net run rate as well. And I think that is where teams like Chennai Super Kings and Gujarat Titans will sit comfortably, but not that comfortably, because they know
Yeah.
that they don't have a very superior net run rate. When you talk about a team winning 5 games out of 7, you expect them to have a net run rate in excess of 1 at least. But since most of the games that Gujarat Titans have played have gone down to the wire, and they have won
Similarly with
some
Chennai
very
as well.
similarly with Chennai as well. But Chennai, at least they won that game against KKR convincingly, so that has allowed them to propel their net run rate up to a certain point. But till then,
Yeah.
they had all their 6 matches had gone to the wire. So I think this has been one of the most highly contested IPL in the history of the
If you
tournament in
look,
16 years.
the top five teams are almost very, I mean, top four teams, except in RCB being top four, it's almost a last year's top four. Maybe just shifting the positions here and there.
Yeah.
If RCB also makes it there, it's just almost a similar number. I think Chennai will make it to the playoffs this time. I have no doubts in that. So it's about who misses out from the last year, because teams have literally continued from where they've left off last year. To be very honest, isn't it? Except for Chennai Super Kings making a roaring comeback.
Yeah, honestly, if you look at the top four, I think Lucknow Super Giants will not be happy with the way they lost last game. So I think out of the top four team, they will be the most disappointed at this point, and also Rajasthan Royals, because Rajasthan Royals they started off the tournament in a great way. They have the team to sort of go on and win all the games, because they have a very balanced team. But the 3 losses that they have had, 2 of them have been because of that middle order collapse, or not collapse exactly, middle order conundrum, because they have a Devdutt Padikkal coming in at number 4, Riyan Parak coming in at number 6, and that is where they're losing the games. So I think Gujarat Titans, CSK will be very happy with their performances. RCB will be happy with the way they have defended in the last
Yeah.
2 games. Having come down to the wire, they defended beautifully. Like, I mean, they will not be happy with the death overs batting, or the middle order batting, but they will be happy with the way they have defended to small totals.
Yeah, and in
170 is not a
Chinnaswamy
big total.
especially.
Yeah, 170 in Chinnaswamy is a small. Even though it was both were day games, but I mean, still defending 170 is a great job. Tomorrow, I think they'll have their works cut out if they have to defend 170
Yeah,
in a night
I
game at
think night
Chinnaswamy. It is
games are
going to be
very
difficult.
different in Chinnaswamy in comparison with the day games. I think we should separate
Absolutely,
them both, and that's the
exactly.
way we should look
And
about
also,
it
I
as
think
well.
talking about Punjab Kings campaign, I think they have had one of the most interesting campaigns if you consider
Very
out of all the
underrated, as
games.
to say so.
Yeah, underrated. Obviously, they were going to coming into the tournament underrated. Lots of youngsters, and Shikhar Dhawan's absence, Kagiso Rabada's absence from that team
I
hasn't
agree.
really helped their cause. But the way they have fought in the last 3 games without Shikhar Dhawan, they have won 2 games. And Sam Curran has done a wonderful job. He's absolutely responding to his price tag of 18.5 crores. If a player, even though he's expensive
I
with the
mean,
ball,
you
is
need
considering
all
so
that.
many
He's
runs.
balled well. He's
Yeah.
batted well. He's captaining the team.
No, I
That's
mean, he can he
18.5
can
crores.
he can he can do a better job with the ball. He hasn't really come to the fore with the ball,
Yeah, I
if
mean,
you
I'd still
ask me.
say he's doing a decent job. He's not doing a bad job at all. So,
Yeah, but the fact that he's taking all the crucial decisions of whom to bowl and whom to bring himself in, when to bring himself in,
and
is a
Punjab have
commendable
found
job.
themselves a captain for the future as well. It may be a 10-year investment from here on. So I think
Exactly.
they should just take on. Maybe after Shikhar Dhawan's reigns, they know whom to transition with. So that is a positive factor for Punjab. And I think Trevor Billis has done a phenomenal job. I think that's about it from tonight's live show for us as well. That's our points table stand. Chennai Super Kings on top. DC at the last position. Mumbai Indians remain in the seventh position with 6 points and now a heavily affected net run rate. As we keep saying, as you talk about points, you have to talk about the middle part as well, net run rate, because ultimately in every IPL season, as we see, it's a net run rate which decides the team who goes through and doesn't go through. A lot of these teams will say so. They don't take it seriously, but now in the last seven, you will have to take the net run rate seriously, because this is where you falter one big bad match, and that comes to haunt you like anything towards the end. So that's where teams will also don't want to lose badly, even if they know the probability of losing is very high. They want to close in on the gap. Thank you for watching, everyone. It's been brilliant taking all of your questions. I'll just take a few of the questions. Someone says poor bowling. Yes, I agree. I mean, we've already taken a few questions regarding Hardik Pandya, about Ishan Kishan as well. It's about time MI things beyond. What it's about time MI things beyond MI. Okay, I don't know what does that mean, but Hardik is such a good captain. He's so cool under pressure. We agree with you. We totally agree with you. We are of the opinion that Hardik is an ex-captain of Team India as well. Mumbai Indians need a change in mindset. Yes and a no. I don't think they're doing anything wrong in terms of mindset. It's just the players are extremely timid, as you rightly mentioned, because the players are maybe playing for themselves at this point. Maybe just have to get that baggage off and see how they go. But then you can possibly play a lot better. So these are few things which Mumbai Indians will have to inculcate in their behavior, bring back the old way of thinking. There's a lot of experience, there's a lot of trophy experience, a lot of legacy in that dressing room to not think about in that way. And I think they will turn around at some stage, and they are going under a transition at this point of stage, and it's very evident for everyone. It's going to take a couple of years at least for the team to gel in, maybe a year as well. Then we will talk about where Mumbai Indians are headed towards. So that's about it. Thank you for joining, Sandeepan. It was pleasure taking your pleasure having you on the show. I hope we will be back tomorrow, hopefully as well. KKR was RCB, me was Sandeepani. We go again for round two. Let's see who gets the bragging rights once more.
KKR needs a win
Hopefully.
tomorrow, otherwise they're out of contention for
I don't
the
think they're
IPL.
out, but yeah, it'll be
Yeah,
good
yeah,
for
yeah, they're
IPL if
out.
KKR wins.
Yeah.
I really want RCB to win at home at least. Their last game at home before a big break. Then after that, I think they are on the road for 5 games or something like that. So they'll
Yeah.
need a win here and then go on the road, because away matches are always going to be tough, because you're going to Lucknow, you're going to Gujarat, and it's tough places. So you will need to get a win here and then come back home on last game of the tournament. That's on May 21st. So there's a last game at home for a month now. So about that's adieu from us. Thank you for watching. Have a good time, all of you, and do not forget to download the app right now so you can keep playing all the IPL contests with Boomer 11. Take care, all of you. Bye bye.
Good night, guys.